Thanks for clicking. Welcome to another Knowledge Math production. Today we're going to be talking about converting decimals to fractions and percents. Okay, so we've converted all sorts of ways, from fractions to decimals, from decimals to fractions, from percents to decimals, percents to fractions. We're going to convert decimals to fractions and percents. All right, so let's get started here. Okay, so decimals, again, decimals are all based on powers of 10. So if I have hundreds, okay, and I divide that by 10, it gives me tens, the tens place. Divide by 10, it gives me the ones place. Divide that by 10, it gives me the tenths place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place. Okay, so percentages, we know, we've worked with many times before, all right, is a ratio that's a part out of 100. We did that when we worked with our word problems or our percent equations, right? So 60 out of 100 is really 60%. Okay. To convert a decimal to a percent, you take that decimal, multiply by 100, and it'll give you the percent. All right. So that's important. Okay. So if I want to take 0.25 and convert it into a fraction and a percent. So let's do this first. 0.25. I'm going to multiply it by 100. That means I move the decimal 2 spots to the right. It gives me 25. So that's 25%. That's my percentage. All right. And then as a fraction, that would be 25 over 100, which I can reduce, put in lowest terms. 25 goes into each. 25 into itself once. 25 into 100 4 times. And that's 1/4. Okay. 0.625 into a fraction and a percent. So take 0.625, multiply by 100, move it over 2 spots, 62.5. So that's 62.5%. And then as a fraction, that would be 62.5 over 100. Okay, so now I'm going to move this decimal place one more place over here, which means I have to add another place there. So that's 625 over 1,000. Okay, and then I'm going to try to reduce this, put it in lowest terms. 25 definitely goes into both because I can make quarters out of each one. So I'm going to divide by 25 and see what happens. In $10, there are 40 quarters, right? Think about it. 4 quarters make each dollar, 4 quarters in a dollar, and then you want $10. So that's 40. And then 25 into 625. So 25 into 62 twice. 125, 25 into 125, 5. 25. Okay. Now 5 goes into each one of these. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 goes into 48. 5/8. That's the fraction. All right. So again, to convert the decimal into a percent, move the decimal 2 spots to the right. And then to make it a fraction, write the percent over 100 and then put it in lowest terms. Okay, 1 Canadian dollar is the equivalent of 0.96 of a US dollar. What fraction of a US dollar is the Canadian dollar? Okay, so 0.96, move the decimal 2 spots to the right or multiply by 100. That's 96%. So 96 over 100. I'm going to divide each one by 2, let's say. So that's a 50 on the bottom. 2 goes into 96. 2 goes into 9 4 times. 8, 48. 48 and 50. 2 goes into both again. 2 goes into 50, 25 times. And then 2 goes into 48, 24 times. 24 out of 25. All right. Jackie Robinson's batting average was .297. Express that as a percent. Take the decimal, move it 2 spots to the right or multiply by 100. You get 29.7%. Okay? And that's it. So that's how you convert between decimals, fractions, percents, and back and forth and all over the place. All right? So again, you want to go from a decimal to a percent. move the decimal 2 spots to the right. You want to go from a percent to a decimal, move the decimal 2 spots to the left. You want to make a fraction out of it, find the percent and write it over 100. Okay, and then reduce it. And as always, thanks for clicking.